Hi, I'm Ashley Unger, Enhancement Sales Manager here at DSD, and I'd like to take a moment to review some of our new enhancements. First, Cash Receipts History Inquiry, AR/CR. Second, Bank Rec History Inquiry, BR/TH. Third, Payroll Check History Inquiry, PR/CH. Fourth, Payroll Instadocs, the PR/DM. And lastly, the Payroll Criterion Link, PR/CR. As always, these enhancements and more can be found on our website, and if you have any further questions, you can always email enhancements@dsdinc.com. Let's review. All right, I'm in Sage 100 and under Accounts Receivable under the main menu with Cash Receipts History Inquiry installed. You'll now see that on the main menu. I'm going to go ahead and drill down and show an entry here. Let's open a bank code, and then you can search on deposit number. So this first block here is the deposit information. You have access to the source journal. The second grid here is the customer information, and you can see here that in this cash receipt I paid 2 customers, and then the third grid displays the invoice information and the payment amount, and you can see as I flip back and forth those invoices in the grid down here do change. That's Cash Receipts History Inquiry. Go ahead and jump into bank. Alright, so I'm in Bank Reconciliation, and you'll notice again under the main menu with the Bank Rec Transaction History installed, there's now a new menu option. Go ahead and open that here. Go to Bank Code A, and you can see that I have a history in checks, and I have nothing in deposit. From this window, I do have the ability to restore. So let's go ahead and run a bank reconciliation. And standard Sage 100, when you run the bank reconciliation report and you go over the option once you review and everything is balanced, you get the pop-up of do you want to clear the documents? And when you say yes in standard Sage 100, those documents are now gone. With bank transaction history inquiry installed, those transactions now live in history. So you can see that that check that I cleared here, you do have the ability again to restore. It also had a deposit that I cleared in that as well, and that shows up here. Again, you have the ability to restore, and that is the Bank Rec Transaction History Inquiry. All right, so now I'm in payroll, and I'm going to be showing off kind of all 3 of these next payroll modules together, but the first 2 is the payroll check history inquiry and the payroll Instadocs, and that I'm going to run through a payroll data entry, and so we can see checks printed and we can show off the Instadocs and the history all in one. So you'll see here that I do have an employee entry, and there's an Instadocs tab. Note that right now there's not anything under it. You do have the ability, if there was a time card or any history for this entry that you wanted to save, you do have the option to go ahead and drag and drop that document in. I'm going to go ahead and jump into printing checks, and we'll show off that Instadocs feature. So I'm going to go ahead and print, and after this shows up, we're going to get the Instadocs pop-up here. So this is going to, do you want to print checks into PDF format? I'm going to go ahead and say yes. And then I'm going to go ahead and say no to running the check register for now. I'm going to go back into that payroll data entry so we can see that document. So now under Instadocs, note the check is 4044, and that shows up and will follow the employee all the way through the system. So let's go ahead and now update that check register. So I'm going to go ahead and update that register here. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump into check history inquiry here and go ahead and show off now that that entry lives in the check history inquiry, and also show off those Instadocs features as well. So I'm going to go ahead and open Jerry Thomas, and then that check number was 4044, so go ahead and open up that. Now we have all of that check history all in this inquiry. You've got the lines, and there's also a check detail that gives you all of his tax information as well. The third tab here is your Instadocs tab, so you do have the ability to see that check. So if we go ahead and double click, it's going to go ahead and open that PDF for us. So that is both check history inquiry and payroll Instadocs. All right, lastly is the payroll criterion link. So if you have criterion, this enhancement is for you. I'm going to go ahead and jump into our criterion on the website here. I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Going to go under the blue 3 dots up here and go into payroll. Here is where all of your employees are listed. And so we're going to go ahead and just select one. Select Bill Bailey here. And the demographics and address are what is going to flow over into Sage 100 with this criterion link. So let's go ahead and fill out some more information. We're going to make him a doctor. Just add a birth date here. Formatting, we'll get that right here. There we go. And this social security number is the main link between Criterion and Sage 100. So you're definitely going to want to make sure this is spelled out. So let's just give some numbers in here. I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Make sure he's got an address in here. And save. So now that Bill Bailey's profile is saved, the demographics and his address, I'm going to go ahead and into Sage 100. I'm going to head into employee maintenance. I'm going to add a new employee number. And so here at this point, when you're adding a new employee number, like go ahead and paste that on in there. And now I do have this criterion link in employee maintenance where I'm going to go ahead and select that. And it's connecting to Criterion, and it's going to go ahead and search through, and everything that I entered in Criterion has now pulled into Sage 100. So I've not got Bill Bailey in here. I've now got his address and everything I entered. I do have 3 fields here on the additional tab. And now that you'll notice that that Criterion link has been set, that these fields are grayed out, and so all of this information will now be maintained within Criterion. If there's any updates to this employee, there's 3 ways to do so. There's the Criterion link here. So the next way to update Criterion is under Utilities. There's now a Criterion Employee Synchronization. So let's go ahead and go back into Criterion and let's make a change for Bill Bailey. Let's go ahead and add a new middle name. So we now know his middle name is Andrew, and we're going to save that. So back into Sage 100, running the Criterion Employee Synchronization from the Utilities menu, I can now proceed. And it's going to go ahead and run through Criterion, and it's going to pull any changes. There might be more changes on this report than just Andrew's middle name. So now it's going to say, do you want to print the Criterion Employee Synchronization report? I'm going to say yes, so I can see that report. Go ahead and preview it here. And so now we see Bill Bailey. The field name that changed was middle name. And we now see it was nothing, and then we now see that it is Andrew. So I can exit that, and that went ahead and updated Bill Bailey's profile. So if I go back in here and pick Bill, I can now see he has a middle name of Andrew. The third way is during the payroll tax calculation. After that is run, you will get a pop-up saying, do you want to run the Criterion payroll synchronization? And you have the ability to say yes or no there. If there's any changes, that report will display and you'll be able to preview those changes during payroll tax calculation. That is all the Sage 100 new enhancements. Hi everyone, thanks for taking the time to review some of our new enhancements with me. Now I'd like to take the time to show off where those enhancements can be located on our new website. And so I'm at our website, dsdinc.com. If I navigate to Enhancements and Marketplace, You will find our new marketplace at dsdinc.com/enhancements/marketplace. Here you can search by name or code, you can filter by module, or you can even filter by groups. So if I go to Instadocs and scroll down, you'll notice from today's demo, our new PRDM Payroll Instadocs module is now located on our website.